This is Kuhn Cassis Rifle TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. We're at the Matchroom HQ here.
What a day. Look at that.
Lovely day. Just made an offer on Sky Sports News live to Carl Frampton for a purse for Frampton for £1.5 million to fight Quigg July 18th in Manchester. Have you thought about that what you've done today could be driving the fight further away or not?
No, because we're too far away anyway. We've got to do something to make this fight happen. You know, everybody's been in the email chains and in meetings apart from Carl Frampton, so we need to get his attention. And therefore we come up with an offer that we feel you can't really turn down if you want the fight. And I know Carl Frampton wants the fight. So this is a last ditch attempt. In terms of driving the fight away, the fight's not happening. Negotiations ended last Thursday. We went back and said, I'm sorry, you know, we had some negotiation, we had some meetings, this is the terms. If it can't be done, we'll shake hands, we walk away. But now this is a new offer. This is a last ditch attempt to make this fight happen. And I believe the right number to make this fight happen.
Would you call this a desperate attempt?
Call it what you want. Call it desperate if you want. We're desperate for the fight. So...
Obviously listening to you talk to the media in there.
Desperate, by the way, is great news for Carl Frampton. Because there's 1.5 million desperations.
Frampton, in this fight, if it's to happen, will be guaranteed a purse of
course, and we take the risk. Don't forget that offer is based on a sellout crowd and a hell of a lot of pay-per-view buys. So Scott Quigg and Matchroom Sport will take the risk. Scott Quigg might get 300 or 400 grand. Might get 1.5 if we do really well. Good luck to him. But there's no risk for Carl Frampton. Turn up, do your camps, couple of press conferences, take your money. Believe you can win the fight, get the win, go on and do whatever you want to do, but do it with 1.5 million in your pocket.
In your offer to them, obviously, it's a verbal offer at the moment, isn't it?
It's a written offer.
You've written that offer?
Yeah, of course. I've made the offer to his official British Boxing Board of Control licensed manager prior to the press conference today. Follow the rules. But now Carl will know about it as well. And I've already seen their statement out since the offer.
Have you put a rematch clause in there?
No.
No. Okay. They've sent a press release out to say about co-promotion. So in terms of that, break that down for me of what that statement actually means.
What they said was, we're in negotiations. We have been. We're not anymore because they were going nowhere. But this has to be a Cyclone promotion show as well. Okay, we'll come up with the money then. You know, you're not coming up with the money, we're coming up with the money. Other than that, if you really want your name on the poster, or you want Michael Buffer to read out your name as well, you can have that as well. But if you want to come up with an offer, or if you want to come up with the money, I don't even have to be involved. Simple as that. I don't have to be on the poster, I don't have to be read out, I don't even put me first row. You know. So I don't get what this is all about. It's not about Cyclone Promotions. It's about Carl Frampton. It's not about Matchroom Sport. It's about Scott Quigg. So I don't really understand their statement. And if they want to be co-promoters, tell what they can be at co-promoters. But that's the purse. 1.5 million. Turn up, get paid, and have a great fight.
There was a part in that statement that said that you've deviated away from negotiations.
Yeah, because they're over. I've deviated from negotiations that were going nowhere. They were told last week, negotiations are over. This is the best we're prepared to accept. No more talk. This is a new offer, totally separate to any other discussions. It's a new offer to get your attention, and it's a new offer to show you so much money that surely you cannot turn down.
Is there a plan B for July 18th?
Well, Scott's boxing on July the 18th, whatever happens. We want Carl Frampton. Now, people don't really want Scott Quigg against anyone else. People don't really want Carl Frampton against anyone else, without the exception of Santa Cruz and Riggindale for both of them. But it's just disappointing, you know, and I feel for Scott Quigg because I think he gets the raw end of the stick sometimes. He texts me every day asking for this fight. He wants it so bad. And like I said, he'll take the risk in this fight, financially. If he don't do that great, he ends up with a bad short end of the deal. But that's what he's prepared to do, to fight and win this fight.
At what point this week is the deadline, the cut-off period for you?
I don't think there's a cut. I mean, I think we're going to move quite quickly. I mean, I will respond to their statement and say, if you want to co-promote the fight, great, co-promote the fight with me. But, you know, the splits, they're not working. 60-40 was always the proposed split to the winner. So we come up with a number, again, repeating myself for the 80th time, that you can't really turn down. Unless you've got another offer for that similar kind of money for a big fight in Belfast.
What if they wanted to have this fight in Belfast, but that would
they
have
want to make us an offer? I'm more than happy for them to make Scott Quigg an offer for this fight. They can't do it. They can't even get close to what we've offered. So they won't be making us an offer, and they'll rely on us and Sky Sports to bring in the revenue for this fight. So tell you what, you bring all the money and we'll take our pot. Well, okay. How about we get the money and we pay you ourselves? I don't think Carl Frampton really cares if it's Cyclone Promotions, Matron Promotions, Coogan Cassius, IFL TV Promotions. As long as that money's up front and secured, they can have it today if they want. There's no reason not to take the fight.
Was the sole decision to make this public, because it's not a rare thing, or it is a rare thing, should I say, sorry, is to get the attention of Frampton, because you could have just sent this to them.
It was sent this morning. Yeah. I want to get the attention of Carl Frampton. I want to put the pressure on Carl Frampton. I want to make the public demand the fight, and I want the public to demand that he accepts the fight. And like I said, if there's a reciprocal offer, we'll definitely consider it. There is no offer, there will be no offer, because we're bringing all the money to this fight.
So give it the weekend. Monday morning we'll know from Frampton.
We'll start looking at other opponents now. I think they've got a lot of thinking to do, and I think Carl Frampton will be sitting there now thinking, £1.5 million to be involved in a British super fight that I believe I can win, because I believe he thinks he can win this fight. Or what's the other alternative? Have a voluntary in Belfast for considerably less. But look, you know, some people will say, "Oh, Eddie, you're calling out Khan." I just want to make these fights. So at the end of the day, we've got to do what we've got to do, and I think that is an offer that has to be accepted.
How does Quigg feel about that situation of him guaranteed the money and him doesn't know what he can get?
It was a decision that we both made to try and get this fight done. That's what I'm saying. There's no risk for Carl Frampton. There's massive risk for Scott Quigg. If this fight does a cut of 100,000 pay-per-view buyers, he might get 300 or 400 grand. Frampton might still get his 1.5 million. Well, will get his 1.5 million. So he's happy because he just wants the fight. And we'll take the risk on the show. I believe I can make it that big, and these boys can make it that big, that Scott will do well. But my job is to make sure that Scott is rewarded financially. Of course, every fighter wants the most amount of money possible, but he just wants the fight. So I'll let the public decide. You know, I've seen Twitter already. It's like, mind you, someone said to me, "Will Eddie Hearn ever not mention Twitter in a Coogan Cassius interview?" I've done it again.
No, Snapchat as well.
Has it? Some will say, "Oh, you surely can't turn down that money." Others will say, "It's a publicity stunt." How can it be a publicity stunt? Carl Frampton can box on Sky Sports, and I think he's willing to, especially for that sort of money. So
we wait and see.
We will.
I will just ask you about,
especially when you're grilling me.
We'll ask you about obviously since the weekend, Amir Khan has been very vocal on the social media with regards to certain different things.
He's not fighting our jury. It's just me trying to fool the fans, even though he announced it himself on his wife's YouTube channel, and he didn't turn down Bradley in an IBF final eliminator. It's just me trying to fool the fans, even though the IBF chairman came out and confirmed that he turned the fight down.
When it was said that the IBF have said that he's turned the fight down, is it a possibility that people behind him may have turned it down on his behalf? Because he was very adamant. No, but he was very adamant that he hadn't been approached. So
well, what they do is they send an email to your representatives. So are you saying that his representatives have turned down the offer without consulting him? If they have, I think there's a major problem. But that's not my business. He announced the Algeria fight. I think you know that. You saw it.
Yeah.
He's just under pressure. Everyone wants the Brook fight. You know, you're what are you, 4 weeks away from the biggest fight potentially ever in boxing, and all people are talking about over here is Kell Brook against Amir Khan. And that's what's frustrating, and that's why we're here today. Because I'm sick and tired of reading, oh, well, all we want is the big fights. I want them, one, because I'm a fan, and two, because I want to make money. Right? Just be totally honest with you. So, we want it. I'm desperate for Brook. You say, is this a desperate offer? Yes, it is desperate. I am desperate. I'm desperate for Kell Brook versus Amir Khan, and I'm desperate for Scott Quigg against, what's his name, Carl Frampton, and there's so many other fights I'm desperate for. Aren't we all desperate? Are you desperate for Brook against Khan?
Yes.
Gareth Davis from the Telegraph, are you desperate for Kell Brook against Amir Khan?
I'm not desperate, but do you know what? It's a fantastic fight.
Go, Gareth. Let's bring someone else out here.
You dangled a little idea for May 30th with Brook and Gavin, and Kell was also talking about it. Has that developed at all?
It's dangled well. It's been well received. All I was saying was that it's all about dangling well.
Swing it.
All right, steady go. All I'm saying is what I said in an interview. I can't remember what it was. If Frankie Gavin has got a final eliminator against Tim Bradley, which he has because Amir Khan turned down the opportunity, wouldn't it make more sense for him just to fight Kell Brook? And then everyone went mad. That's a good fight. Make that fight, 2 Brits. But then I started thinking, so I don't know whether that fight will happen. All I do know is it's likely Kell Brook will fight on May the 30th, I believe. Will it be against Frankie Gavin? I don't know. If it's, we've got 7 weeks, that's all. So if it's a top 15 opponent that some people might moan about, are we better off putting Frankie in there and giving him a chance? All right, I know you keep on at me trying to make me.
No, but you are. He's 5th in the IBF.
I know. But then, I've just signed Frankie, and the plan was to build him, and then maybe have that fight at the end of the year or next year. Now we're in a position where potentially we could make that for May the 30th. He is all over it. Please give me that fight. Please give me that opportunity. Brook will fight anyone. I mean anyone.
Brook said to me, why not?
Brook said to me, if there's a Brit there with balls to fight me, get him in there. That's his mentality. But, and then we'll go Rios in early August.
Okay, Eddie Hearn, thank you very much for talking to
Leeds.
TV.
Get ready for Leeds this Saturday. 10,000 of those nutters in there. What a night.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.